What's going on, guys? Hope everyone is having a good morning wherever you roam. I am in my car warming my hands because it is cold out. Not that bad, well, it is cold, like 20 degrees. But this is the Mavic 3 Cine, lo and behold, in my hands with the strap and all. And one battery down. The drone, I figure I just kind of give you guys a little bit of a more at length talk about what it feels like. I guess it flies really amazing as a drone. It's super nimble and responsive, there's no doubt about that. It descends super quickly. I'm sure it has a lot to do with less resistance because the legs are so skinny. So the flamingo type legs, I'm sure, have less obvious force when it's coming down, but it does fly well, it seems. But at the same time, I don't know, it doesn't seem remarkably amazing. I didn't look at the footage on my computer yet, of course. One of the really cool things, as I mentioned, is with the Cine. Obviously, it's a big price tag at $5,000, but the cool thing is you don't need to worry about an SSD. You don't have to worry about a micro SD card. So it's kind of nice to run out without having a little flimsy micro SD card, and you can just have this really pimp built-in 1 terabyte SSD internal storage that you can basically carry, a ton of footage on, unless you're shooting ProRes. But the majority of people will only be shooting ProRes when it's applicable. I can't say that word too early in the morning. But you're not going to be shooting ProRes unless a client's really requesting it or you're trying to lock in a really amazing shot. So with that being said, I think another good thing with this is basically the experience. The experience between the Autel and DJI are going to be completely different. So if you have an Autel, it's orange, obviously. It's more like a bus. This is going to be more like a little race car, I think, as far as agility is concerned and the way it flies and maneuvers. But at the same time, the whole experience is just a lot different. So either you're gonna want to have more of a DJI experience or you're gonna want to have the Autel experience. And I guess that's something that you almost have to try for yourself to see if you enjoy it. I think I'm so used to flying Autel now that I personally enjoy the simplicity of it. It feels more like you're going to work and just getting the job done. You crack open the case, you pull out the drone, it's really simple. Not that this is complex, but even just the gimbal cover alone, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, you can take it on and off pretty easily. Boom. I don't like how it clips the props, but regardless, same kind of thing. Opening it up. So we got this. I can't see if anyone's commenting ever because I'm on my phone, but it's definitely a quick drone as far as nimble. I mean, it really does fly well, but again, for the amount of money, I'm not sold that this is a definite keeper. I mean, putting the zoom lens into effect, you're basically set to only auto settings, which I'm sure, of course, as many have said, will be maybe changed in a firmware update, maybe the one in January. But it's very limiting, and it didn't look that great. I know there's some creative possibilities. I'm gonna see. I shot some ducks cruising by on some nice calm water 4 times and 7 times, so I'll see if that actually looks decent or not. But again, it's on a 1/2-inch sensor for that upper zoom lens, so there's no way it's gonna compete with, say, for example, an X5S Inspire 2. Because there's a micro four thirds, you got a lens, you got better optics, and the whole thing's just going to be a better drone. But it's obviously a lot bigger, a lot more to carry around than this thing. So we shall see. I'm going to play around with this thing, I guess, for a few weeks and come up with some footage and do some comparison stuff and decide if I'm going to keep it or not. But it's a cool looking drone, but the battery experience too is really no different than flying my Autel. It didn't wow me. It was basically just like flying the Evo 2 Pro 6K. So anyone who has an Evo 2 Autel drone, the battery life is basically going to be comparable. It's the exact same kind of experience. Maybe you get a couple minutes more or less, but really it's not that noticeable. So battery is no surprise. Again, until I bring the footage onto my computer, I really don't know. So I'm going to go and fly at least a handful of batteries today, come up with some footage, and then get kind of familiar with the drone, and then I'll go into the city and start doing a little bit more serious flying and get some better footage. But the drone does look cool. I mean, I just wish the top lens was a little bit more functional, or ideally this thing was maybe, you know, like a full frame sensor or something. But regardless, that is the initial thoughts. The Fly app I personally enjoy, so the simplicity of the Fly app is good. I have to dial in my gimbal and my drone and figure out how to disable that beeping. So I turned off the APAS for the second and just tried to disable some stuff because I still haven't figured a couple things out. But what else? You know, you can enable and disable the ProRes. There's just a lot of little settings. You just got to get used to it. It's a new drone, of course. But that's it for now. We'll see what the footage looks like. I'm going to try to get enough footage to put together some kind of edit today, even if it's just some randomness, just to give you guys an idea of what the quality looks like that I can put out. So I don't know. I'm not shooting in log. I'm just shooting normal color, and we'll see what we can create and come up with. So stay tuned. Have a good day, guys. And aloha. Bye. And the Mavic Cine says, Cine Mini says hello and goodbye. Take care. Peace.